For those of you who pour, we've recently improved our brewing capability for Guinness Draught in the bottle. First thing you must do, you must ensure it's cold. Second thing, you want to release that freshness. And then, get into position. You want the nitrogen bubbles to be released as it hits the side of the glass, looking absolutely gorgeous. You've got to really pour it at a little bit more speed. Straight in the glass, as you would expect, just like Guinness Draught. We've always recommended that you always drink Guinness Draught in the bottle, straight from the bottle, to get that fantastic Guinness taste.
I tried. So, a duck walks into a bar and says, "Bartender, I'll have a cold Guinness and a ham sandwich," which comes as a surprise to the bartender because ducks don't typically speak. The bartender says, "You're a talkative little fellow." "My therapist says the same thing," the quack. "Anyway, can I get the beer and the sandwich, please?" So the bartender gets him a cold Guinness, and as he's making him his ham sandwich, asks the old faithful question, "So, what do you do for a living?" "Well, I'm a plasterer by trade, but I do some carpentry on the side." So the bartender hands the duck his sandwich, lets him eat in peace, and was surprised to find a nice tip on his bill, which he had to take off of his bill as the duck made his way out of the bar. The next day, in the middle of the afternoon, the bartender is working his usual shift when he sees a portly man with a curly mustache and a big purple suit sit down right at the bar and say, "Bartender, I'll have a mint julep." Bartender says, "Coming right up," and as he makes his mint julep, decides to ask the old faithful question, "So what do you do for a living?" "Well, I'm Mr. Ballyhoo of the Ballyhoo Circus, the greatest show on earth. We're in town for the weekend. If you want to see yourself a dong diggity of a show, you should come on by." The bartender says, "The circus? No kidding. I just had this guy come in yesterday. You wouldn't believe it. He's a talking duck." "A talking duck, you say? A talking duck, you say? A talking duck can make a lot of money in this business. You give him my card and you tell him if he wants to make himself a boatload of cash, he should come on by and talk to me." So the oddly ostentatious Mr. Ballyhoo finishes his mint julep and makes his way out of the bar. But not 20 minutes later, in comes the duck, who plops down in the same seat and says, "Bartender, I'll have a cold Guinness and a ham sandwich." The bartender says, "Coming right up, but I gotta tell you, I just had this guy in here. He's from the circus. He said you could make a lot of money if you wanted to come work for him." The duck says, "Really? The circus?" "The circus with the big canvas tents?" "That's the one." "And the big train cars they travel in with the wooden slats?" "Yep." The duck gets quiet for a moment and contemplates his beer. When he looks back to the bartender, he says, "Why in the hell would they want a plasterer?"